Hello, everybody. How's it going? All right. So are we live on Facebook and everything? Are we all set? Yay. Hey, you guys, how you doing this morning? I can't believe that we are literally we're over the halfway mark on the 7-day revenue challenge. So are we letting everybody in the Zoom right now? I see a bunch of people in the waiting room. So are we letting everybody in? Can we let them in, let them in, let them in? Awesome. Okay, good. Now I see VIP coming in. Hey, you guys, how you doing? Awesome. Are you doing good this morning? Yes, yes. Hi, hi. Okay, I'm just popping up my chat. That's better. You guys, I'm excited. I'm excited to train you today. So first of all, I keep forgetting to announce winners at the beginning, so I want to be able to do that. I want to know, how was your homework? How were you on your homework? Did your stuff come up? Did you get a little bit like I don't want to do this? Tell me that some of it came up. Like the whole point in the 7-day revenue challenge underneath it all is to start working with your leadership and to have you do the thing you're uncomfortable doing. I got a message from one of our clients today. Actually, she's going to jump on live. What time is she jumping on live? Nobody told me that. Okay, cool. She's going to jump on live, and she was just sharing how what's the best way of saying this? There's a lot in the message, but she was basically saying that she was appreciative of me role modeling all the different events that we're doing and how I can still stay present for our clients and still give to our clients and train them and be a mom and go through like a third round of IVF. And all the different stuff that I'm walking through, which I know you're walking through too. I know you're walking through your version of life. And she was just complimenting me this morning, which is always nice when you're around women who stop and compliment you. Isn't that nice to be around people like that? And so she was sharing this with me. And I was sharing with her, if you pay attention to top leaders, it's not that they're not human. It's just they've developed their leadership to be able to walk through their emotional triggers and still be able to be reliable for you. They're still able to be accessible for their family, the people that love them, and process. In other words, it's not like we don't have to shut out the entire world to process things like unfortunate divorces or, situations where you're sick or there's a serious illness or your puppy dog passed away. And I know these are all very, very sensitive things to talk about. And I'm also very well aware that people can judge me for that as well. And I got to share it with you. It's absolutely true that you can handle more. It's absolutely true. And that does not mean you have to be a superhero. It really just means that you have to be okay with showing your mess to people. If you can handle pressure in a way where you could do a big campaign and it can fall flat on its face and you lose your butt and you might even have to lose your house over it and not completely crumble and think that make something up about yourself like you're a loser, you're not a good entrepreneur. If you can shut out all those judgments and assessments, what happens is you become so much more accessible to the wisdom of learning. And if you can become accessible to that, then you become a reliable leader. I'm going to say one last thing to you about this. Obviously, I'm really big on leadership. And I don't know if you guys can hear the drilling going on behind me. Okay, good. They shut the door. Perfect. If I look at I don't know if you guys know Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis, and they're going through their divorce. And I actually don't know Rachel and I don't know Dave, but I know a lot of really close friends of theirs. And as they're walking through their process, they're still online and they're still talking about it. Like Rachel took a couple weeks and pulled offline, and then she came back and she shared how this is super hard. She shared how when COVID was hitting that she didn't know what to do. And that her and her COO, her operations manager, were just every day being each other's, accountability partners. And you got to ask yourself, who's your accountability partner in your life? And not from a place of if you don't have one, not from a place of I don't have anybody, but from a place of maybe I haven't given to anybody. Maybe I haven't actually created the relationships with the right people in my life that I would actually want to run side by side with them. You see, the whole gig is about owning the responsibility of realizing what have I not done or what have I done that has worked and hasn't worked so that I can build what it is that I want. So today we're going to be talking about how do you build buyers. But if you didn't study the empathy model about how to actually create a product, and you didn't go out there and do the homework, at least creating your list of 20 people and tried to reach out to some people, then I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what any of us teach you. Your leadership is causing you to pull back. And that's a problem because you can't hold up your willpower forever. I don't care who it is, like, Rachel Hollis, myself, and like, you can't go through divorce after divorce after divorce and not get wiped out. You can't go through one and not get wiped out. You gotta, while you're getting wiped out, be able to release the pressure and be able to be vulnerable and share, like, this hurts, and still do it anyway. I have a client who reached out to me yesterday or the day before and said, I'm feeling like I really want to go inward. And I'm like, I've been coaching this person for a long time, and this is her pattern, right? This is her pattern of wanting to release the pressure to go inward. And the problem with that is that every time you do that, you actually prove to God, the universe, your friends, the people who tell you to be careful, the people who tell you that maybe you should relax a little bit more, what they're actually giving you feedback on is that you've actually acted up in a way that they're not sure that you can handle it. See, the reason why my husband continues to show up in front of me as one of my biggest, actually is my biggest cheerleader, is because of the fact that he is always adding more to my plate because he knows I can handle it. And I know that it's kind of funny when I say it because I know our journey, and because he was a huge skeptic on what it is that I train. In fact, he did our PACE program when he was dating me because he thought that how is it possible that she can charge what she charges and like sell something digital? In fact, somebody who in our last challenge that won some VIP time with me, I did an hour call with her yesterday. She's actually on this challenge as well. In literally 30 minutes, I spent about 11, 12 minutes getting to know her. And the rest of the time, I put together an $80,000 plan for her. An $80,000 plan for her. And her husband's like, she wants him to do leadership with them, and everything's an enrollment game. And he said, soon as you show me that you've made $100,000, I'll do leadership with you. See, the enrollment game that Ash and I were talking about yesterday has so much to do with trust. And the people around us trust or don't trust us based on how we've shown up. Well, like in our leadership program, it's like, or just say your own life. Have you ever walked into a room where you kind of size somebody up? Come on, be honest with me. Have you ever walked into a room where you've sized somebody up and you've been like, yes, right? It's like you've sized somebody up and you've been like, I don't know if I trust that person. Or I get like, some of my best clients are the people who can't stand me on the front end. They're like, I can't stand the way she talks. I can't stand how bold she is. And then they always end up coming to me because they're controllers. The controller mentalities, and they're controllers, and controllers get stuff done, but they often judge to actually prevent themselves from showing up all the way. It's like they know they haven't gotten the results that they've wanted, but like surrendering their control and their walls into allowing a coach or a mentor to help them is actually quite vulnerable. So as you're walking through these homework exercises, listen, if I just wanted to just get you little moments of success, I would have made your homework so much easier. I would have had you journal. I would have had you create a vision. I would have had you hang out in the areas that you were comfortable in. And I would have built massive authority with you because you would have been lit up like a candy cane. My role is not to be your friend. Let's be clear about that. I know I'll become friends with some of you. You might already know if we're going to become friends because you can feel it. But my role isn't to become your friend. My role is to be the best coach I can be for you so that I tell you what other people will not tell you, and I break up the patterns that are driving you crazy about yourself behind closed doors. This morning I was listening to Zig Ziglar's training on, I can't remember the name of the book. It's like, it's about closing. and I know closing is such a yucky word because it really is about leadership, but I'm finishing his book right now, and it's about closing. I can't remember, but if you look up Zig Ziglar like books on closing, I'm sure you'll find it. But I was listening to his book today, and he said, one of the biggest challenges that people have when they're making a buying decision is they don't make decisions very well anyway. And so if you think about that, how do you make your decisions? Like when I've put you up for the homework, can you guys drop the AC down for me, like way down? When I've asked you to do the homework, how have you done on it? Like, did you just jump in and handle it? Were you nervous and you walked through your emotions? What happened? Or are you still thinking about it? Or are you still playing it safe where you don't want to risk rejection? What came up? So I got stuck. I half-assed it. I'm going to be honest. I half-assed it. I got emotional. That's right, Amy. Zig Ziglar's closes on selling. Secrets to closing the sale. That's right. Zena, you jumped in. Tiffany, you jumped in. Nervous, but jumped into it anyway. I had to work. Thanks, baby.
You got it.
You want to say hi?
Sure.
Actually, you're a great example of sharing what I'm going to teach today around finding buyers. You made a list but didn't contact it, Sarah. I'm asking them about their homework. I was anxious but remained determined. All in. I procrastinated, nervous. Okay, so the majority. Oh, I did it and made $1,000. Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay. Doing too many things, great sabotage strategy, had to work right afterwards. So Brooke.
One sale, yay.
Another sale, good. So Madison, you got 3 calls set up. That's great. Okay, so notice what you put down, right? If you're VIP or in the Facebook group, notice what you put down. That is a pattern for you. Right? That is 6 enrolled.
Nice job, Colleen.
So that's a pattern for you. And if you think about a human behavior, so if I had another job, okay, so honestly, gosh, you talk to more people than anybody I know. It's just like, you're like a machine. It's like he'll be playing Lego with his son, he'll do an hour and a half of Lego. Cause I got to say, he thinks that he can be so much better of a dad. And I was just saying to you the other morning, I was like, you are an incredible dad.
Yeah.
You are so present and you always find the energy. You are just incredible with him. And you are also so available for these guys to be able to coach them and help them and things like that. And so,
thank you.
You're welcome. So, but saying that, there's no conversation around time. Time is a leadership challenge.
Yeah, totally.
Time is a leadership challenge. And he used to have that.
I used big time.
Right? So when he did what I'm going to teach you today, I'm going to teach you how to find the buyers. I'm going to teach them about summits and things like that. But I'm also going to show you that there's different ways to find buyers. And I want to show you what they are. But one of the smartest ways is to get free leads. Who's interested in free leads? You want free leads? Never have to leave your house. Right? You can sit there and drink your coffee and you can drink your glass of wine or have your tea. You don't have to leave your house, but you can still get free leads. Is that nice? Because every time I check entrepreneurs, they always like to bring up their profit margins and reduce their expenses. You're really on to that game. So when Ash did, when he did the process that I'm going to teach you, you had a full-time job.
Yeah.
Okay. So just share it real quick.
I had a full-time job and I honestly, the truth of the matter is I wanted to audit her because we were talking about getting engaged and I'm like, okay, well, what do you do? Okay. What's your background? How are you charging that? Why are you charging that? And so I was like, does it really work? Is this another MLM company? I had all these conversations in my head.
Which, by the way, it's okay if you're an MLM, but we know that it has, there's many people, he's an analyzer. So being skeptic before he started developing his leadership is when an analyzer is in an unworking zone, like it's not actually
looking for all the problems versus
Yeah.
what's working.
and that's not the best way to use analytics.
It never is. So you know, and the other thing is like, you know, my past, my history. I was always taught like, well, if you're going to have your own business, you know, the best way to get rich is really become a corporate executive. Like this is what I was taught because of someone else's failures. So I had to step out of that. And to step out of that, there's a lot of belief systems that got in the way. And I remember, I'm like, I gotta first prove to myself that this is working so that I can be behind her. And now here I am with you guys, and I never thought I'd do this in my life. And so I was working full time, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a transition plan. I'm gonna just jump off because that was where I was at analytically. So I'm like, I'm gonna create a plan for this. And so I started doing the list build. I jumped into Pace and I did the list build, and we had so many fights during that experience. I was just thinking back on that the other day.
Oh, I remember. I was like, I did not think he should coach with me. I thought it was a really bad idea. I said it neutralizes relationships. Yeah. Let's keep our relationship over here.
Holy smokes. We walked through all that stuff. I mean, that was the early days, and honestly, I can't believe we made it, and we made it. But I mean, those moments were really, really tough because there was times that I
broke up with them 17 times in one day.
Oh, come on. Oh yeah, that's true. So what's interesting is all these I didn't understand what self-worth was at the time. Yeah. I didn't even understand the context of self-worth because I had all the degrees and accolades. And so my ego was so much, my conversation about me always felt like, oh, I know I'm really great. I know.
Who knows somebody like this in your life? Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you love, maybe it's someone you're married to. Who knows somebody's in this dialogue? Know that you can walk through this.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. You can walk through, but you got to be a very strong leader. And that's where you were a very strong leader.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And so I had all these conversations. Like, I'm great. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't even have the credentials. What are you talking about? I had this dialogue. It was really deep. And so it kept me from seeing all the possibilities.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's still opening up for me. I remember a moment, even with Jesse, like we were sitting down, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the brilliance of Shanda that I never saw. And what if I seen this in business all of these years of my career? What would I have created for these companies in the past? So what I want to say is I was like, okay, you're helping people build an audience with nothing. People who go spend $15,000, $20,000 in advertising, and then they find themselves, well, they're not my ideal clients, or the advertising isn't working. And this, what I know about advertising from coaching advertising in the past was advertising only works when it works. But if you are not working, how are you going to get something to work when it works?
Oh, that's like Zig Ziglar's Closing the Sale. I heard this morning. He said, to be a great salesperson, you have to be a great person. And he's like, you have to be a kind, great person, and you can't change the person. And so if you're driven to make money, you're actually not being a great person in that moment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like your kind, loving self. This is why I always say, if you're having massive temper tantrums behind closed doors about the work and you can't shift, then that is actually getting in the way of your leadership and being able to actually doing the homework that we're doing. You know what I mean? On each of these days. Totally. Okay. So
I remember like we were fighting at the dinner table because I didn't want to even do an opt-in video. You remember that?
I don't.
I do. I remember. I'm like, I don't know.
It was probably more emotional for you.
Just before the call with Joe, because Joe DeSena was my first interview.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do an interview series as a way to get free leads. Okay, and so he's talking about when you have to set up a registration page. And online, and thank God he did this, and thank God many of my clients over the years have done this, because my clients are having the best, most profitable months ever. Some of my clients are able to buy a house inside of 1 month.
Totally.
Okay, and that's epic. Okay, and so you got to create a video to go on the page. And so he's at the dinner table and he doesn't want to create this video, right?
Yeah. And I'd done I think I did like million cuts, and I'm like, I look bad on video. I don't look good on video. I'm not saying.
Oh my God. Now I remember how bad you
Shanda, I don't want to do this. This is not the right move. It's the wrong thing to do. It's too hard. There's no way to justify this. Financially, it doesn't add up. Like I looked for every reason.
And this is me. You don't understand compounding. Yeah. You don't understand that it will add up. And, if you just have I'm always grabbing my calculator, right? I'm like, if you just have, if you just have 25 people pay you $700 a month, that's $17,500 a month. If you work with them for a year, that's $210,000 with 25 people. I can help you do that. And he's like, no, I don't want to do these opt-in videos. I've been to, Pepperdine and like all this stuff, right?
Yeah, I work on multi-million-dollar deals. I don't work on $7,000. I had all these reasons, but the truth of it was, and I didn't realize this. So this is the thing. You may not even realize this about yourself.
I gotta go quick because I gotta get it.
Behind the scenes in my head, I was saying, there's no way someone's going to pay me $700 to work with me. What do I have to offer them?
Yeah.
And that was the dialogue that was stopping it all. So this is brilliant because you're going to, when you can.
But I have to train.
Go
I just wanted you to share, you had a full-time job.
I had a full-time job.
And you did it on the side.
And I did it on the side. Roughly 4 hours a week is what I put aside.
So you guys have a time conversation, write that down because you'll forget that. About 4 hours a week you put into this and you built a list of
2,500.
Okay, so now I'm not going to take.
Do you remember the time when I'm like, there's nobody that wants to do this?
Yes.
And then within 2 days, we had 24 people.
Yeah. And I've seen this a million times. So this is why coaching is powerful. But 2,500 people, if he had $12 lead on Facebook, which is actually, just so you know, right now it's costing $25 a lead because of the elections and all of that. Facebook changes and Instagram and YouTube, they change all their pricing structures depending on what's going on in the world. Okay. So, which sucks because then you have to bob and weave and remember all these things. Like you want to do a Christmas special. Like I have a client that wants to do a launch in December. I said, no, don't do that. December, they jack up all the pricing. Right. So your profit margins will be so much lower. So don't do that. And so if he would have paid a Facebook team to actually drive traffic for his free leads that he got, he would have spent $30,000. So I saved your ass $30,000.
You really did. And a lot of headache of trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because what people don't realize is when you start the ad campaigns, it doesn't work right away. You spend 15 grand, it doesn't work. You're like, oh no, I lost 15 grand. And it's part of the process of learning it. So,
but not everybody has the money to do that. And that's why we love to teach what we're teaching.
That's why you got to teach what you're teaching. That's right.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Okay.
Coffee's over there.
Okay. So let me announce the winners for today. So first and foremost, two people are going to win your time with. Two people are going to win 2 seats in our List Power Intensive. So. Was it List to Launch? I did a List to Launch training and I challenge, and I actually offered my List Power home study program, which is the only way that you can get my List Power training is through a home study program, which means that you have to study at home. You're in a group for 90 days where I have a trainer in there that every week comes and answers your questions. So that's still available for you that I'm giving these 2 seats to. However, I am going to do a workshop for 3 days on this. So November, what is it? 15, 16, 17? November 15, 16, 17.
16, 17.
So November 15, 16, 17th, write that down, everybody. November 15, 16, 17. Because if you win, I am going to do a live 3-day training on the List Power program. I'm also, the reason why I added a 3rd day to this is because I know that people have a hard time making decisions. Imagine if I could tell you what leadership level you were and tell you how to run your next year based on a calendar. So you know when to sell, when to lead gen, when to create products, when to make all the decisions you need to know, how to start putting money in your bank account so that you're paying yourself first. There's different leadership levels that approach this differently. So if you're someone that is level 1 leadership and you get exhausted by even doing this challenge, it feels like so much to do this homework, then you're at level 1 leadership. And I need to move you to level 2 and then to level 3. But let's start where you're at. So I'm going to help you build your business through a calendar over the course of the year, but I'm gonna teach it to you at this List Power training as well. So the 2 people who won these spots is Chantel Monsi, is that right? Chantel Monsi. They said, my team said you went all the way. And these two people are finishers, and you had amazing energy, are the notes that I've got from my team. So Chantel Monsi, you are going to be my guest at the List Power Intensive on November 15, 16, 17. Shayla Renee Little, Shayna Renee Little, you are also going to be my guest at This List Power Intensive. Woo, woo! I'm super excited. A real piece about that is that I taught this in Toronto live, and then I actually did it for the List to Launch people. I did a 2-day, which is totally fine to do it in a 2-day. And I'm going to tell you, the woman that won training a 1-hour VIP session with me yesterday off our last challenge, she's doing it. She has 8 experts and she's ready to rock and roll. I created an $80,000 plan for her yesterday, like I said, in 15 minutes. And my point in sharing that all with you is because she has the list, because she's now going to have the list, she can execute on it. And that's huge because so many of you guys, 95% of you guys don't even have an email list of 5,000 or more. So you should not be focusing on anything else. You should not be focusing on anything else. Like, let me ask you a question. Do you really want to keep going the way you're going? Like, are you getting results fast enough? Maybe you want to be right about the fact that you know what you should be focusing on. But if you're not making the money that you want, then I'm going to tell you, I'm going to back down and say, you're right, go for it. And I'll see you in a year or 2 years from now when you've missed this huge landslide of wealth that is being transferred. Listen, most of your competition is going to go away over the next 10 months. Are you going to be the entrepreneur still in business? You need help and you need a list. You need help and you need a list. I needed help. You need help. Okay. And so I don't care what industry you're in. This works for teachers. It works for real estate people. It works for network marketers. It works for meditation teachers. It works for massage therapists. I have energy workers that are making multiple six figures a year and living in freaking crazy countries because they decided to move their families to places like Costa Rica because they could. Like, the limitations that you face right now go away. So if you're living in a country or living in a place in the world you don't want to live in, or living in a darn house that you don't want, take responsibility and focus on the right thing. If you have no list, you have no buyers. If you have no list, you have no buyers. So you can do this. You can do paid. Oh, this is history. Good catch. You can do paid. Paid advertising is going to cost you right now. Well, I'm not going to take right now because it's abnormally expensive. You're looking at anywhere between $10 and $15 for one person. Okay, for one person. So now do the math. If I want you to build an email list, I want everybody to build an email list of 20,000 people. If I want you to build an email list of 20,000 people, and it's going to cost you, $15 a lead, that's $300,000. Does somebody have that in their equity home you want to go pull out? Because that is an option. I can give you Facebook running teams that run Instagram, YouTube. It's very reliable. They know what they're doing. You need to know your messaging on the front end, which on Saturday, we're going to talk about your messaging and copy. Do not get lazy on the weekend and not come to Saturday. Okay, you've already seen a 50% drop on the people who are actually still in the challenge right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. Is the content been good? Have you been being taught real stuff? Now look at how many people didn't make it to the starting line, and look at how many people didn't even make it halfway through. Okay, you're a winner. Just freaking believe yourself that you are a winner. That's why you're still here, okay? Because I see this all the time. These are not abnormal numbers. I see this all the time. So it's human behavior, unfortunately. And I think it's going to get worse if we keep raising our children with entitlement. Okay, so that's real. So you're looking, if you need 2,000 people, you're looking at 300,000 in ad spend. Now, could you do that over a couple years? Yes. Absolutely. But it still means you're going to pay $150,000 a year. And I haven't even put in the cost of the Facebook team because the actual ad team has to get paid too. They take 5 to 10%. They take 10% of, I think it's typically like your first 100,000 or your first 50,000, and then they drop it down to 5%. But let's just take 5%, which is not how it is because they actually take more than that. that means that I'm adding, you're adding another, actually, that's not true. 300,000 times 5%, 15,000. So you're adding another $15,000 just because they're going to take $15,000 on top of your ad spend. This is if an agency's running your ads. These are real numbers. Does anybody teach you this? No, they don't. They never teach you this, right? Because everybody believes it's your responsibility to go figure it out, and there's a cost to building a business. So nobody teaches you this stuff. You need to know what you're getting into. On top of that, you're going to spend, if you have a cheap Facebook team, which scares me because it probably means they don't know how to target right, you're going to pay $2,500 a month. So if you do this in 1 year, it'll cost you another $30,000 for the agency. If you do this in 2 years, it'll cost you $60,000 for the agency. That means you're paying $2,500 a month. And just so you know, my agencies cost me more than $2,500 a month. Okay, that run our traffic. So now really look at your numbers to get to the number that I need you to get to really have security. And the reason why I picked this number is because I know that there's a journey in your leadership to become confident in making your offers, to become secure in knowing what you're selling. Sometimes I have clients that work with me for 2 years before they even know what they're going to sell. But they're getting paid because they're a good decision maker. They're getting paid to learn, So if you ever think you're going to sit back, wait to figure it all out, well, you've already lost the game of entrepreneurship. Go get a job. Okay. And I'm telling you that from compassion. Every time you try and delay a month to get the right timing, you're screwing yourself. You're playing a game in your head to try and make things more comfortable. Don't do that. Money loves speed. You need to become a quick decision maker. So 20,000 gives you grace. 20,000 on your email list gives you grace for for learning. Okay, so now let's take the way that I like to train. I like to train our entrepreneurs to do summits. When COVID hit, everybody shifted to a summit. In fact, many people are calling these things called challenges. They're calling them challenges out there, like we're doing right now. If I had a bunch of people leading the content and I wasn't leading the content, so whenever I bring somebody on to train you, that is a summit. It means somebody else is delivering the content. So all of you guys, who are my people who are a little nervous about saying the right thing online, delivering content? Who are you? Okay, so this is a great model for you because you don't have to create any content. You have to be like Oprah or Larry King Live and you need to interview them. Okay, so as long as you have a phone or a computer and an internet dial-up, you're good to go. Okay. So we do summits where we interview, just like a podcast, we interview a series of experts. Typically they're authors. Why do I choose authors? I choose authors because if they have a lot of reviews online, Amazon bestsellers, New York Times bestseller. In fact, now this is one of the best times to do this model because everybody in the book industry didn't know how to pivot with COVID. And so what happened was they're all launching their books the first quarter of next year. So those top-notch influencers, they don't know who you are yet, but they're definitely gonna if you come to my 3-day intensive for List Power. Okay, like if you want to know about that, I'm going to share something about that in a little bit. But if they know who you are and they've got a book launch, they love these models because this is even better than a podcast because these are people who have opted in. Remember, if you were on day one, I talked about when I gave a product away for free online and I put name, phone number, email. The people who did not give me their phone number never purchased. If you get that, it's crazy because you understand like the way in which you make decisions actually tells you the speed in which you're going to succeed. The speed in which you're going to succeed. And so if you think about that, if people go to a podcast, there's no risk. There's zero risk. They just listen to podcasts. There's no possibility anybody's going to contact them. But if you take the podcast model and you put it behind I want this to drop. And you put it behind an opt-in page. So this is a registration page. This is what my husband did 1 million takes for the video. The video needs to be 2 minutes long. He did a 2-minute video and he did it 1 million times and he thought he sucked at it. He hated the way he looked on camera. I know there's some of you out there that you hate the way you look. But the videos actually work better on the page. Now, could you put a picture of yourself? Yes, you can, but it's not going to convert as well, right? So you have a registration page. You do an interview series just like a podcast. And what you're doing is you're actually doing a digital online virtual event. So it's not hard to create a virtual event. You interview just like a podcast. You come up with a theme and a topic. Those are some of the things that we help people with. How do you come up with one that really monetizes? How do you come up with one that really makes a big difference in the world? And we can talk about that as well. But my point is that you have a registration page. You do a podcast style, which is an interview series, and you create your first virtual event online. The power of this is all these people give you their contact info. They give you their name, their phone number, and their email. When they give you their name, their phone number, and their email, now you actually have an asset. You own it. There's companies like MailChimp, Infusionsoft, Aweber. There's great companies that actually hold the emails in a database for you, and then you could message them. Your Gmail contact account is not an email list. This is an email list, okay? Once we build the email list, and just follow me through on this, okay? Everybody can do this. I've had people literally like going through chemo in a hospital do this. You can do this where you can actually do it through a video camera like I'm doing right now and say I was interviewing you. I'd be like, hi, my name's Shanda Sumter. I am doing a training for entrepreneurs that is helping entrepreneurs create cash flow before the holidays, right? So that could be a registration video. Here's some of the things we're going to cover. And then I interview a bunch of authors and they create the actual content. I don't have to create any of the content, which is awesome. If you overthink this, you are an analyzer. Okay, so stop analytics. You don't want to hang out in analytics on this. You want to access your controlling energy and your promoting energy, which is everybody has it. Okay, when you get excited about something, you get promotion, you promote something, and when you get really driven, like, no, this is going to happen. You've all experienced that. Raised children, you've experienced this, right? Everybody's experienced this. And so you need to access that type of energy right now, that type of leadership. So move into leadership level 2 so that you can actually just like release the pressure on this, release the emotions on this. And this is super doable. Okay. All of you guys have had a phone call before. Okay. So once you come up with a great model on the front end, you want to take the thank you page, which you guys all saw in this challenge, and you want to monetize it. You want to monetize it. So typically we tell our clients to not monetize it, but because we are in a recession right now, a global recession, we are actually telling our clients right now to monetize the thank you page, which means no replays. We want to cause people to take out their credit card right on the front end and buy. I just talked to a client who is a brand new client of ours, and she got this vision. She said, I'm going to interview everybody who's created toys for kids around products that actually the kids learn from and they're like obsessed with. Because every parent knows when you buy a toy, your kid plays with it for like 3 days and then it's like clutter in your house, right? It's so annoying. And so she went through the empathy model, right? What's the problem I see? Parents buy toys and the kids don't like them. What's the solution? We need to find toys that are engaging and learning and they don't throw them away. Well, what's my contribution to this, which is her offer, which starts with your summit, your interview series. She's like, you can come up with anything. She's like, I'm just going to interview all these people who've written books and created toys around these topics. They are all going to email their database to that registration page. To that registration page. So remember, we have a registration page. all the experts, all the people you interview are actually going to mail their email lists and introduce them to this page, which is your great idea because you worked off the empathy model. Once they register, they're going to go to the thank you page next, which is going to give them an opportunity to buy all the interviews for anywhere between $77 and $99. So the toy girl in our community, thank you. The toy girl in our community on her first summit, this is the one she's launching right now for Black Friday, Christmas and all that. For her first summit, I believe, I think she did 6,000 people on her list. And I believe, or maybe she made 6,000. Shoot, I can't remember it. I just had her on like a few weeks ago. We have so many success stories, and I'm not just saying that. Go look on my pages. We have so many success stories. I don't remember everybody's stories, but I think I'm going to play it safe and say she made $2,000 on this page, right? She might have made 6,000. I think she made $2,000 off this page. Now just think about that. For some of you guys, that pays your rent or your mortgage, right? For some of you guys, that pay. Imagine if you just did this summit every single month, right? Imagine if you just did this summit every single month, what that could do to your bottom line. But that's not where it ends. What happens is after they build the email list, after they monetize their thank you page, they move over and they survey. They survey their audience. Once they survey their audience, they do a 5 to 7 question survey, multiple choice, and they find out what the audience wants. I have been surveying you. I showed you a survey. I did it to you. And that's how I know, I don't have it in front of me, it's somewhere over here. That's how I know all of the details about you. I know how many of you guys have a full-time job. I know how many of you guys are full-time entrepreneur. I know how many of you guys just are starting your business. I know everything I need to know to be able to make an offer to you to come to my 3-day List Power Intensive. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Do you get it? See, if you guys all told me XYZ, I could pivot my offer to help you. But what's happening is you're creating products or services, or you're not even getting started because you're trying to figure it out all on your own. How long are you going to keep running solo? It's not working. You ask them what it is that they need, and then you create a product. And that survey tells you how to sell to them. Okay, so in the products, I recommend, write this down, that you really focus on reoccurring income. Things that people reorder. So coaching, they reorder monthly, right? Subscriptions, memberships, they reorder. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. So do we have Sarah? Yeah. Sarah, let's have Sarah on. Hey girl, how are you?
Hey Shanda.
Good to have you.
So happy to be there. It's exciting.
I haven't seen you for a while.
No, I've been out doing this.
How's it going? Tell us how it's going.
It's going amazing. This year has obviously been so hard for so many people. And because of your coaching, I have just leaned into being a leader for my community and serving people. And it has been not only my most fulfilling year, but my most financially profitable year ever.
Awesome. Tell us some of the summits you've done.
So I coach.
And how long you've been with us.
Yeah, so I'm in my second year. I'm in Marketing Mastery, which is one of the programs here. And I started with no email list. I was those of you, if you're on, you're like, I have people on Gmail. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do the email list. Social media is fine. It's not. So I went from no list, and I've now done 2 summits. My list is around 5,000 people. And
well, let's do the math on that. If she was to spend Facebook advertisements, so she's done 2 summits, so 5,000 people. Yep. And if she was to spend $12 a lead on that, that's 60 grand. And I'm going to tell you, she has not paid me 60 grand. Okay. I need to start taking a percentage here.
That's
No,
right.
go for it.
That's great. So, right. So I broke into six figures, and when I was around there when I started with you, because I coach people on writing books and speaking. So I built my initial business out of live event speaking. Well, thank God I came in to do work with you because I didn't have a list, and if I had not gone online, like I have no idea this year, right? I was able to pivot all my events to online. I ran a boot camp and that you coached me on, and I just broke 400K for the year.
That's powerful, you guys. That's super powerful. So she broke $400,000. She's worked with us for a year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah,
Just under 2 years. She's only done 2 summits. And just so you guys know, you could pop out these summits. You could do one a month if you wanted to. And so, Sarah, you're a superstar. And I'm going to start pushing you to do some more one-day summits so that you up your tempo and do some back-to-back one-day summits. Shannon Irvine's a great example. You know, like she did $1 million inside of a month and a half, I think it was. And she did 4 one-day summits like every Friday. Right. And so you guys, a one-day summit is where you'd interview 8 to 10 people in one day. And around different topics, right? And so she does brain work and neuro coaching and things like that. But you can take this for any topic ever because everybody needs buyers. Even if you don't know what to sell, it doesn't matter. You can go to a company called ClickBank, and ClickBank has 1 million products that would match any list. In fact, if you're tired of selling, you could go to ClickBank and get a product and your list will like it as long as it's a product that matches them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so awesome, Sarah. Any advice to everybody?
Yeah, build that list. It's everything, right? Because as you said, if just to give a quick contrast, I have probably 20,000 people on social media. So I have a much bigger social media, it's not huge, but I've got more there. I make 90% of my sales through the list.
Yeah. It's so good. That's so good. Travis, the guy who influences me on becoming an influencer online, I would like to gift you, Sarah, as one of our clients, and just to say thank you for coming on and just sharing some of your knowledge. I'd like to gift you a seat in his workshop on December, I think 5th and 6th. So let Kelly know, and we're going to get you in there because it's a $700 ticket. So he literally can teach anybody how to take social media and become a stronger influencer. So that's my gift to you.
Thank you so much, Shanna.
Awesome. Okay, have a great Black Friday, and I'll see you inside the community. Sasha Sterling, where are you, girl? Hey! You should be unmuted.
There I am.
There you are. How are you?
Great. How are you? So nice to see you.
I'm on fire. I'm good. So I've been running around the house on fire all morning. So just real quickly, just share just your experience of building this list, because I think you've done paid advertising and you've done the free, right? Is that right? The summit style.
Absolutely. Well, I've done over 30 summits now since 2015, since I've been with you. And
wow.
So when I started, and I do dabble in paid ads, but then I get disenchanted. I'm like, no, go back, because summits are low cost and always, for me, have always led to 6-figure plus launches on the other side within 4 to 6 weeks of every summit. So it works. So I love them.
That's so good. And how many times have you, what was your discovery of figuring out what you wanted to sell? Because I think that's powerful too, share.
Yeah, definitely. So when someone forwarded me an email with your training on the power of an email list, my husband and I had brick and mortar businesses that previously were successful, but then all of a sudden they all failed at the same time. And we were flailing. And so we didn't have a business coach. We didn't have a plan. So we, like many entrepreneurs, thought, hey, I know best. I can figure this out. And we innovated ourselves right off a cliff into hundreds of thousands in debt. So when I found you, I really didn't have the resources to join Pace, but I knew that I had to figure it out. And so at the time, I wasn't taking myself seriously. I was really hiding behind my husband's businesses, but I had this little hobby coaching business. And it's been so powerful to just take action, take action, not knowing what my message was. Honestly, 5-6 years later, I finally feel like I'm the woman that I wanted to be back then. But it took I know the new website's coming out. It's really just been in massive action and being in the game, being around other leaders, being around yourself, and being humble enough to just fail forward until it works.
It's so good. You paid off a ton of debt. And what's your message just to anybody who is in debt right now?
Oh, well, I would say don't take it too literally. It's like, we're entrepreneurs. There's risk. And I really do believe that there's a reason for all of it. Like getting into that much debt and then paying it off without filing bankruptcy, like who I've become in the process of paying off $400,000 in debt, learning how to cash flow my businesses. We just a year ago paid off all the remaining debt, rebuilt our credit. Like no one can take that away from me. I'm not afraid of anything. Like I know what to do in what order to make money. And so I'd say the debt is probably a gift, and it's just like, are you up for the challenge? So, and having a plan, having a proven plan is critical so that we're set up to win.
So what is the right order to put your business in?
Build a list. I'll just quote Shanda, build an email list around a topic that you're interested in, survey who shows up, get on the phone with them and ask them questions and listen to them. And then just be a matchmaker, sell them what they want, whether it's your products and services or someone else's products and services. Just be a good human and help people out, and you'll make money.
Yeah! No, it's so good. It's so simple, you guys. Sasha's been hearing me say this for years. I would love to pivot my offers because of the fact that I've been training them for 9.5 years now. But the truth is, Sasha and Sarah, you guys who are just on, I literally surveyed this group, and I actually did the steps, and not because I was actually even trying to demonstrate them, because we called it the revenue challenge, and there was initially 30,000 and then it ended up being 35,000 people who actually came into this challenge. On day one, there were only 2,000 people who showed up. And I was just like, what is going on with this audience? I don't know who they are. And so I surveyed them. Right. And so then I told them, like, this is what I'm doing so that they could learn what I'm doing, because, you can train all day long and half the stuff you say goes like through somebody's consciousness out the other side. And then they're back into their emotional trigger again. Right. Like life starts, the challenge is over, life starts again, and they're just like spinning. And so it was really cool. Like God always has a plan. It was really cool to be able to do that in front of them. But I had to. Right? I had to, because it doesn't matter how good you are at selling. It doesn't matter how good you are at speaking. It doesn't matter how strong of a leader you are. If you don't know who you're talking to, all that is irrelevant. Do you guys get that? All that's irrelevant at that point. And so this is why it's a major problem if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have a buyer's list in the form of an email list. And the reason why email is important is it's your first asset. Honestly, I would take an email list over buying a home any day. Any day. Any day, because somebody needs to pay that mortgage. And so I would take the email list over buying a home any day, because even if I miss the real estate fall down that's about to happen, we're already seeing homes in our area. One home we saw reduced by 400,000. Multiple homes have already reduced by 100,000. It's coming. All the real estate agents like to pretend like it's not, but it's coming. Right? The woman who, we actually had lice, the woman that worked on us to de-lice our whole house and us last night, she wants to move to Hawaii to get out of California. Another person my IVF girl just bought a house unseen, without a real estate agent, click to buy. Like, that's the world we're going to. If you don't get responsible about building your asset, I'm going to tell you, you don't know if your industry is going to be around. But what I do know is that we are on an upward slope of education. And what that means is your life, how awesome is this? Thank you, Sasha. I love you, girl. How awesome is this? Your life is the educational system that somebody else wants. Your life, let me just really get that into you. Your life, how much more freeing, how much more, God, like, you know who you are. There's something you have learned. There is something that you know. You have raised children. You don't need to be certified parent teacher Or do you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody thinks they need these credentials to be able to go online. Tony Robbins and my friend Dean Graziosi did such a great job at teaching people this conversation. They called it the knowledge broker, right? You're the knowledge broker. But all they did is give a name to something they've been teaching for centuries, forever. Not for centuries, but forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have education inside you that can monetize. And even if it's like, for me, real estate was a stepping stone to do what I wanted. And in fact, all of my business models inside of our coaching programs have actually come from what I learned in real estate without a marketing degree. And then I brought it over here and I did it inside the coaching industry. Now I've coached thousands upon thousands of people every single month. Okay, not every year, not over the years, every single month. I have only been in business for 9.5 years. Just take that in. This company is only 9.5 years old. And so if you think about that, how long have you either been wanting to start a business and you're still waiting, or you've been building a business and settling, or you've been confused or frustrated because you're not getting the results that you want? And then, of course, I know you guys who are succeeding, you want more. And so when COVID hit, everybody shifted to our models. Pete Vargas did the Rise Up Challenge, right? Which was just a really big summit. He had 150,000 people join that, right? And now they have their Facebook group going and they're just working that Facebook group, right? They're serving people, they're loving people up. They're being the influencer and the leader to that group of people. Many of my clients, most of my clients, I have a huge amount of my clients that have come who didn't know what it was that they were even going to offer. I'm like your freedom girl. I'm standing in front of you saying, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You have an opportunity to take control and, for some of you guys, change the DNA financially of your entire lineage coming, your children, your children's children. I have trust set up for my son, and my son even has rules on his trust on who he actually gives that money to. So my son is married and he has children, then his trust 100% can go to his family. If he's married without children, a percentage goes to his wife. The rest will actually go to his actual cousins, right? And now I'm building out my husband's sister's trusts, which I don't even think she knows, because I'm already thinking about how do I take care of that family? Even though they do decently well, I'm thinking she has an older husband. I want to take care of his sister. And so this is what leadership looks like. It's not just about you making the money. It's about you becoming responsible for the people you love around you, because they may not feel the same energy or the same call to get off their tushies and create the results that you know that you can create. You've just put it in the wrong order. So here's what I know for sure. Nobody gets there by waiting for it to become more comfortable. Nobody gets there by waiting to figure out where the money's coming from. Nobody gets there without moving their schedules around to make time to prioritize you and prioritize your business growth. If you don't do it now, the world will force you to do it over the next couple years. You will be brought to your knees if you don't do it now. And so what I know for sure is we all need help to get there. And I would like to be that help for you. So if you guys are okay, I would love to share for just a couple minutes. I would love to share about the List Power Intensive that I created just for you. It was not on my books last month. I created it just for you, and you were in my mind. How can I help these people have the most epic financial month ever, set up their life for financial freedom, and to be able to take responsibility and control of their life so that they know how to make money? And so, are you guys good with that? Can I share that with you? Okay, great. So, and then VIPs will move to you right after. Okay. So here is here is my List Power Intensive. So basically, this is the first time that I have done this in 3 days. I've done it in a 2-day workshop, but I've added a third day because I actually want to show you how to run your next year and how to make decisions better. Because what I know for sure is that's where we get bogged down. We don't really know how to make the decisions. We know now money loves speed. We need to make decisions fast. But the truth is that we still get stuck. And so I want to manage your leadership next year. So not only do you have the best month this month, but I want you to have also the best year next year. And I want to give you some calendars to be able to work off of. Okay. So here is, let me just move this for a second. Here is what you're going to get inside of our program. So here's what we know for sure. We need to build a buyer's list. 95% of you guys don't have one. Only 5% of you guys. So this is 100%. If you don't have an email list of 20,000 or more, you should definitely do this. But if you have a list underneath 5,000, this should be an absolute no-brainer for you. What we know for sure is that you need to design an offer that sells. So that's reoccurring income. I want you to write that down. Reoccurring income. Stop selling things. Even if you're like, I don't know how to sell something that's reoccurring income, I'm going to show you how to do that in this workshop. You need to be a stronger leader so that you can make money. That's like, the emotional stuff. We need to get you so that you can actually, when I give homework or give something, that you actually do it. So you have to make the decision on whether or not you want that. So go in the chat right now. Are you ready for that? Who are my millionaires out there? Who are the people out there that you're my millionaires? You're ready to become a millionaire. Who's my $500,000? You want to make $500,000. Who's my middle class? You want to make 300,000. You'll beat the middle class that the world says, but in our community, you'll be middle class at 300,000, which means the majority of people are there. So let's get you there. Okay, so here's a fraction of what you're actually going to get in the List Power Intensive. So these are all the modules that are in the home study program. And so I'm going to teach these at the List Power Intensive, but I want you to understand what goes into it. Okay, so first and foremost, module number 1 is deciding on a theme and a title. What are you going to do your virtual event on? Right? What are you going to do it on? What's something that you really like? And how do you position that in a way that people will get your communication and it lands with them? So if you've ever been in a situation where you're like, you know what you want to say, but nobody seems to understand it or take action, that starts with a good theme and title. Module number 2, you need to create a domain name. And so this is not a website. Websites don't make money if you have no traffic. Many of my clients, like you heard with Sasha, she's 5-6 years in and she's now creating a website, right? Like websites don't make money unless you have any traffic. So I don't want you to fall in the category of I just need credibility and so I'm going to create a website. We actually want you to focus on the right thing that actually brings in the money. So we need to decide on a domain. And we need to decide on a banner design. So people always ask me, what's this going to cost me to be able to actually put on this virtual event? Well, the banner and header, if you were to go to a graphic designer, could cost you $150 to $200. However, you can go to Fiverr. And for $5, you can get a banner created. We're going to show you all the tricks to bootstrapping. I was not the girl when I started my business that had a bunch of money in the bank. So I'm really great at bootstrapping. And I can also tell you that was my part of my success. And I bootstrapped too long. And it actually started to become part of my demise. And I'll teach you that inside of the List Power Intensive. Module number 3 is reaching out to experts. So if experts don't say yes to you or they don't know you now, but we're going to teach you a generator email template on how to actually speak. So it's designs your leadership in how you actually reach out to them with our generator email template. You're actually going to do it in the workshop. So here's the thing. I don't trust you to go do it alone. Let me be honest with you. I don't. There's only a small percentage of you guys who even did the homework and even walked through all of the details and even showed up every single day. It's a small percentage of you. So in order for me to have grown the company that I've grown, I've had to get better than your habits. I've had to get stronger than your emotions. And the way that I do that is we have coaches in the room that are going to help you walk through your title, your theme, your header, your banner, and you're actually going to reach out to experts so that you can interview them. So hopefully your stomach just turned a little bit there, but know that everybody will be doing it with you. And when you hear people getting so excited about like top influencers and authors reaching out to them saying, I'm interested, they start to freak out, right? And so you start to realize how easy this freedom game can actually be. Module number 4, virtual assistants. We have virtual assistants inside of our community. In fact, I do have a daily bonus where I'll actually pay for your virtual assistant for you if you want to make a decision to jump into this program. So I'll talk to you about that in a second. Module number 5 is about creating your opt-in video. That's the video that my husband did like 50 takes of and was like absolutely certain this was not for him. Meanwhile, now he crushes it doing his summits and absolutely loves it. Okay, so module number 6 is promo material and opt-in content. So there's a lot of steps to doing this and doing it right, as you can see. You can definitely go try it on your own, and many people have, and they've learned off of our free trainings. But like, if we work together, I can actually do it with you over 3 days. So module number 6 is how do you create the promo material? All your experts need to send out an email to their databases, to their email list. You have to provide that email. If you don't know how to write an email or you don't know how to provide that content, then you're going to fall flat. So in the workshop, we're actually going to design promo material for you to send to your experts. We've now, for this event, pre-written some content so you can take it and you can plug in information and actually be able to send that out to your experts to send out to their list. If they don't send to their list, then you don't build a list, right? So they're sending you free leads from their email list. They are not giving you their email list. They're sending an email to their email list that will come back through your registration page. Module number 7 is we're going to show you how to master the launch. Module number 8, we're going to show you the entire checklist and the hacks to be able, so we give you a checklist to go through so that you don't feel confused about the steps. You're like, I'm on this step, I'm on this step. So in Heartcore, we always say, stay in the step in. So we're going to take you through the steps and you're going to have a checklist and you're going to learn the hacks that save you money while you're doing. Module number 9, one of the hacks, even with that thank you page. Do you want to bring in 2,000, 3,000? How much do you want to make on the front end? Which means before your interview series even happens and before you really make an offer, we can use that thank you page to absolutely crush some offers and bring in money right now, like literally while we're doing the event. Super powerful. Module number 9, we're going to show you how to build extra momentum. So after all your experts have agreed to mail, and I need to teach you how to get them to mail. After they do that, there's little things that you can do to get them to do more promotions for you. So we have some very, very smartly crafted requests that will have you send out to them so that they give you a little boost. A great example is one of our newbie clients, nobody knew them, had a big New York Times bestseller mail for them, which is not abnormal. That is not abnormal. But originally they said no, they wouldn't mail. They let them on the summit anyway, which is a no-no. But I had them go out and ask for another promotion in a very specific leadership way. Long story short, they sent out an email. 2,000 people register for their summit off of that email. Do the math. $12 times 2,000 leads. Game changer. Module number 10, set yourself up for next year. And that's what we're going to be doing on day number 3. And here's what you're going to actually get in this process. Okay, so these are the three different ticket access points. So the reason why I did this, so that you understand, is that I know everybody's in a different financial situation. I charge $3,000 on sale. I'll charge $1,500 to do my home study program, which in addition has weekly calls in it with Jean Bills, who's been training with me for like 6 years, okay? It's where you can go and get accountability and ask questions about the steps of the modules I just went through. However, what I do know is that not everybody can afford that. So I literally have been thinking and racking my brain, how can I make this accessible for all different income levels? Because once you got this, at least you're in a position where you have buyers, right? You can learn with them. You can grow with them. You can figure it out with them, but at least you have a way to make money. You can test creating a product or service. You can at least be in the general consensus. You can do a free call with us and we can show you how to make money if you have the list. If you don't, we're strapped, and so are you. So here's the general admission. We're going to give you the 3-day List Power training with me. There are no replays in the general admission. This is a $5,000 value. I'm workshopping with you from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Plus all of our coaches are there. You're going to actually do the work with us. You're going to create your entire interview series. So the general admission is the actual workshop with me, no replays. Plus, I'm going to give you a ticket, one ticket to our zone event, which we're actually solidifying the date for that next year. It's our huge, like multiple thousands of people come to this. I have some of my top friends that train and coach on this, and it's just an epic legacy builder. Okay, so at that event, I actually offer our PACE program at that event. And so it's a huge, huge event. You'll meet the network of our clients. We'll have thousands of our clients that will come to it, and it's just epic. So you'll get a general admission ticket to Zone event, and you'll get access to the 3-day training with me for $497. The second tier is the premium admission ticket. The premium admission ticket obviously gives you the 3-day intensive training with me live. It also gives you 2 tickets. So if you have a business partner or you have a really good friend that you want to come train with and grow with, I'll give you 2 tickets to Zone event next year to our live event, which is an $800 value. Plus, I will also give you lifetime access to the home study program. So like general admission, you've got the live event with me. We're going to do it. Plus you got Zone event. The premium edition, I'm going to add in 2 tickets to Zone. Plus I'm going to add in the home study version, which means that you'll have 90 days of training inside of a group to go through the home study modules if you want to review different things that I taught. In addition, you are also going to get a ticket to my mentor's training in December, where he will show you how to build your influence on Instagram, Facebook, and that type of stuff. As much as I completely know that everybody wants to learn this, I am sorry, but when you learn it the wrong way, it takes you years and you spend through so much time and money trying to grow these accounts. This man has worked with Jay Shetty for 2 years straight, talked to him every single day. Lewis Howe, a lot of us. He took my platform from 5,000 people to 100,000 plus on Instagram. I don't even know how many thousand, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Thank you. Can you put that up here? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people on my Facebook. You could just go on my Hardcore Business Facebook page and see. Travis is the one that coaches me for that. So he's doing an influencer marketing workshop in December. And here's what Travis says to me all the time. I can make anybody unknown known. So that's going to serve into also what you're doing inside of List Power, because you're going to become viral. There's a very specific way of speaking that you become viral. And he's masterful at it. So I actually paid for everybody who's doing the premier admission. I have paid for your ticket inside of his actual event, which is in December. So that's $997. So premium admission is $997. The third one, which is our best value. Our third one is our best value. So our best value is our visionary. And in our visionary, you'll get 3 days inside of the training as well. You're also going to get 2 VIP tickets to Zone, which means that you'll have early entry. It also means that I'm going to put you in with our clients. My clients have a big networking lunch and dinner. So you're going to get to network with some of our most successful clients, which your network is your net worth. So you're going to get that. You're going to get 2 VIP tickets, which are $700 each, which means that you can bring a business partner, a friend, a husband, a girlfriend, whoever it is that you want. So plus, you will also get lifetime access to the home study version of the List Power training. So you'll have it forever to keep reviewing. Plus, we will give you tickets to Travis's Become an Influencer workshop. And are you guys getting excited about this? Because I love this offer. Plus, this is crazy. I'm also going to give you, with the visionary admission, I'm going to give you the first intensive of our leadership training. So our ACL leadership training is a $5,000 program. We took out the first training, which is vision. which is imagine being able to go through 3 days where we realign all of your leadership. It's a very, very, very explosive training. Many of you guys have showed that emotions are your challenge. Well, this will handle your emotions. So we're going to give you the vision section. There's 3 sections to our HCL training. We're going to give you the vision training of it, which is 3 days, and you'll do that in January. Okay, so we're adding that as a bonus for the visionary admission. In addition, as if that's not enough, I am also going to give you 2 months of private one-on-one coaching. That is not with me, that is with one of my strategists. But however, let me share this with you. I have a client, I have a PACE and List Power coach. They train in PACE and List Power. And she just had a $35,000 week. These are not people who are like not making it. These are coaches and strategists that you will work with one-on-one, absolutely crushing it. So to actually be a part of one of these 3 ticket accesses, you go to joinlistpowernow.com, joinlistpowernow.com, and let me share this with you. So I can't even see it. So let me move this over for you. So your middle premier admission is our best seller. And our best value, if you want to go all in, is the visionary admission. Okay, you go to joinlistpowernow.com, and that will show all the 3 different levels that you can pick. What's most important for you to remember is this. If you look at the general admission, and you look at the premier and you look at the visionary, what you want to look at is you want to say that all of them have the 3-day List Power training with me. Okay. All of them are the live intensive on November 15th, 16th, and 17th. So write that down. Okay. All of them have a ticket to Zone event, except for the visionary gets the VIP, which means you'll be hanging out with my clients, and there's extra additional training for VIP. I pay for a big lunch for you and a networking and all of that. The general admission does not have my home study program for List Power, but the other 2 do. Travis, my mentor around how to become an influencer, which I think is really important. And obviously I think it's really important because I didn't just try and become an influencer. I got trained, is not available in general admission, but I will pay for your ticket in the other 2 admissions, in Premier and Visionary. The one-on-one coaching is not available inside of the first 2 admissions, but it is available for Visionary. Visionary admission, that's an insane ticket. Right? To be able to get our List Power training, our home study program, plus Travis's workshop, plus 2 months of private coaching, plus our HCL program for the vision workshop is pretty awesome. So you got your first admission for $497. You got your second ticket level at $997, and you have your third ticket level at $2,400. So that's what I got for you today. Go to joinlistpowernow.com, and I'm just going to take a couple questions, because if you go to joinlistpowernow.com, you can actually see the ticket levels. Okay, so and back to you. So quickly, if you have any questions on this, I'm here to answer them. But there is no forepay. There is the $497 option, and then there's the middle option for $997, and then there's the high ticket option at $2,400. So we made it available for everybody at whatever ticket level. As an entrepreneur, I want you to learn how to stretch. I want you to learn how to stretch. I want you to learn how to be resourceful. I want you to learn how to figure it out. So let me share something with you. So please not now. Let me share something with you. So what I know for sure is that you absolutely are going to need help to get to where you want to be. So take the pressure off yourself when you're making this decision. If you can only afford the $497, do the $497. Right? Like many people have done my List Power training and used it as a way to make money, to be able to afford like our PACE programs and our bigger programs. If you want the best seller, take the middle one for $997. Figure it out. Like I have to figure it out. That's part of the training of being an entrepreneur. Your emotions are what cause you to not figure it out. We showed you that in the homework. If you want our leadership vision training, the one-on-one private coaching for 2 months, and you want the home study program, and you want Travis's Become an Influencer, and that's on your heart to become an influencer, if you want all of that together, then go for the $2,400. It's an insane offer, right? We always make insane offers. So I always give a daily bonus. Until midnight, my husband has offered to do a 2-hour cash flow training with you. He's going to show you how to, so if you make a decision to jump in today, join listpowernow.com. If you make a decision to jump in, Ash, and this is only available for today. This is it. Ash will do a 2-hour training with you and show you how to develop your actual sales script. So it's okay if you don't know what you're going to offer. He's going to show you how to walk through your emotions on that and create a script. So this is what's crazy. We buy our own BS that we need to know more to be able to execute on these things. And that's what's stopping you in the first place. Okay, like I did my whole last challenge not knowing what I was doing. Like I was nervous, I was scared, and I did it. There's many times I've run out of money and I figured out like, okay, I'm gonna stay peaceful and calm, neutralize my emotions so I can make a decision faster and move, right? So I'm gonna tell you there's 50 ways to find the money, and my husband is going to do a cash flow training for anybody who jumps in today for 2 hours, and he's gonna show you how to develop your sales converting script, which is epic. When we put our sales team on that, consistent cash flow. The second thing is I always do a 20-minute bonus. And everybody who's ever watched me before, and we teach this to our clients all the time, because first of all, money loves speed, and success is granted when we actually can overcome our emotions. It's just how it works. And so I always do a 20-minute bonus because I want to reward the people who walk through their emotions and figure it out. So I have a virtual assistant company. We started it about 1.5 years ago, and we started it because we had virtual assistants around our community that were selling our clients, and unfortunately the work ethic wasn't there. And so again, I'm going to teach you this in the List Power Intensive on November 15th, 16th, and 17th with this offer, which is what this offer is. I'm going to show you how your business will tell you how to grow. Your audience will tell you what to offer and how to grow. Once you create your initial product, once you do your list, and then you create your initial product off of your list, which we're going to do in a List Power Intensive. Once you do that, then from there, anything else you create, which completely creates wealth and freedom for you, the audience is going to tell you to create it. So the audience literally told me to create the virtual assistant company. And so we created a virtual assistant company called Hardcore Works, and it's all virtual assistants, and we help entrepreneurs do all the tech work that they don't want to do and all the tech work that takes them forever to do. So if you make a decision in the next 20 minutes, then what I will do is I will pay for 4 hours of a virtual assistant to set up your registration page, your thank you page, just the stuff you don't want to do. Now, I recommend you hold your virtual assistant long-term. My virtual assistant is the reason why I crossed $1 million for the first time. And honestly, there's things that you just need to not be doing inside your own life. So my virtual assistant for the next 20 minutes, can you guys start a clock for 20 minutes? So for the next 20 minutes, if you make a decision to jump in, I will pay for your virtual assistant on any package. It doesn't matter, Elena. Elena asked what package, any package. I don't care what package that you take. The general, the premium, or the visionary. It doesn't matter what package you get. My daily bonus of Ash doing a cash flow training for you and developing your script is available till midnight tonight. At midnight Pacific Standard Time, we will close down that offer and it will no longer be available. Just give you an idea, my husband just helped a whole slew of people who couldn't sell make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a very short, I think it was 5 weeks. It was a very short amount of time. He's brilliant at this. And if you know anything about him, he will probably almost always go over to be able to help you. So he's going to do that cash flow training for you. The virtual assistant is the next 20 minutes. It's up on the screen. I see 19 minutes on the screen right now. There's 19 minutes left to grab that. I will pay for your virtual assistant. These are hard costs for me. Like I got to pay them their salary. So I will pay for their salary to put up your landing pages, your registration pages, to help edit your videos, to set up your thank you pages. And plus, by the way, they have my funnels. So they will also be able to just mirror my funnels because they have them, which means all my online funnels that crush it, they already have them. And when you work with Hardcore Works, you actually get that. So okay, so go to joinlistpowernow.com. Are you guys drop the link, please, in the chats? Because I don't see the link in the chat. So drop the link in the chat because people are asking for the link. So please drop the link in the chat. Trisha, drop the links in the chat, please, and not just have the URL up. Okay, so I see them starting to, that's hilarious. My clients are actually dropping our link in the chat because my team's not. So my team needs to drop it in the chat. Okay, good, thanks guys. Okay, so I see a couple of people. Thank you, Gladys, I love you too. Teresa, boom, done. Thank you for being a part of List Power. You guys, I'm gonna tell you, real honest moment. If you shut down my business right now, deleted my list, and I don't want to put cancer on me, but like gave me something like that. I won't put that on me, but you know what I'm saying? Like if any of that happened, like I have more fear of that than I do of you shutting down my business. Because if you shut down my entire business, I have no fear around finances or cash flow. I can be up within 45 days. Within 2 months, I could definitely be back at $500,000, definitely back at $500,000. I can live off $500,000, like very, very, very easily, right? Within, I would say, well, I'd definitely say within 60 days, if I wasn't being lazy, I could be back up to $1 million, definitely in 90. So think about that. If in 90 days, I could be back up to $1 million, 90 days, I could be back up to $1 million. And that's that. If you might not know me yet, but my clients will tell you I always operate on conservative, meaning that I always operate on a conservative plan versus a airy, fluffy plan that is like not attainable. But when you look at what's possible for you guys, when you look at, so first of all, just the relief that I can have, because I lived many years in a Starbucks, really frustrated about the fact that I had this calling inside me and I knew that I was supposed to be wealthy. Like I knew it, but I didn't know how. And it was really frustrating because I would say, if somebody would just show me how, when like this is right in front of you showing you how. And the truth is I had to develop my leadership to get my butt off the computer and into action and get over my emotions, just like you do. I had to work through all of that. But at the end of the day, that was the only thing stopping me from making a better decision, was my leadership. So like on that best value option, which is the third option on the page on joinlistpowernow.com, on the visionary option, like, that's why I offered the vision workshop, the leadership workshop, right? Is because emotions are such a big deal. We're going to handle emotions tomorrow as well inside of this challenge. But you know as well as I know that you've been contending with yourself for a long time. And there's nobody that has the magic wand to splash it on you. Like it's not, you've got to show up and overcome these emotions to be able to go after it. But what I can tell you is that my husband, that we used to fight like cats and dogs, through developing our leadership, we were able to get on the same team and not end up not getting married or getting a divorce, right? And I can tell you that finances are super accessible to anybody. I remember having $500 in an envelope, and that's all I had. And so I just know that there's no way you can enroll me in anything that you're facing that can't be overcome. There's just no way you can enroll me in that. And that's good. That's good. That's who you want to coach with. You want to coach with someone that can help you overcome that. So we got 14 minutes left for you guys to take the 20-minute bonus. And imagine this. Imagine if you could take an email list of 2,500 people, or let's just say 1,000. Say you have 1,000 person list built, right? Off of what we do in the intensive. Okay, so get over your analytics, get over your emotions. Like I'm the girl that pays for herself with my training, right? I'm the girl who I pay, like my coaching pays for me. You get what I'm saying? So congratulations, Tara. I'm super excited that you're in. Okay, so she said, I just paid. Did it work? Tara, look up Tara. Awesome. Can I pay with 2 different cards? Yes. Do we have a chat on the, okay, so on the joinlistpowernow.com, there's a chat that you can pop up. If you need to pay with 2 different cards or something like that, go there now and just access the chat and ask customer service to help you, because then you can still get in. We've got 13 minutes left on the 20-minute bonus, okay? So somebody's saying the link did not work for Visionary. Are you looking into that?
Yeah, we're on it.
They're on it. So give them 2 seconds. Is the link broken?
No, it's working.
Oh, the link's working. So Dara, go to the chat and just make a mark, because if like talk to them. If for some odd reason, like if you talk to our team, you will still give you the 20-minute like time frame. If you talk to our team, we see you in before the 13 minutes is up. Okay. So now let's just say you have 1,000 person on your list build. Like, this is what I mean by entrepreneurs have to get smarter with the way that we think about prioritizing our business. Remember, hand on a Bible. Okay. Hand on a Bible. If I lost everything, the first thing I would do is build the list. First thing I would do, because it doesn't matter how good my product or service is. If I got nobody to sell to, I'm dead in the water. I've already got my leadership, so I'm good there. That's why I can be back up to $1 million in 90 days, which actually means if you could make better decisions, make them faster, get yourself over your emotions, ask for help. If you could do that type of stuff quicker, then that means that you could be up. And this is like, I'm not giving you an income claim, but let's be honest. We both put our pants on with 1 foot at a time. So if you wipe me out to nothing, I could be back up to 7 figures in 90 days. No problem. No problem. But I'd build the list first. Say you got a list of 1,000 people, which is not the best list build. Most of our clients are somewhere around 1,700 to 2,500 for their first list build. Is if you take the coaching, which is hard for you not to take it when I teach you live, because you're going to do it. I'm going to say, here's how we do a registration video, and you're going to do it in the workshop. And I'm going to say, here's how we write a generator email so that experts say yes to you. And you're actually going to do it in the live intensive with me. The live intensive is virtual. So I will be in my living room where I am right now, and I will have whiteboards around me. And I will be training you, and you'll have lots of handouts. But you're going to do it. Then I'm going to say, here's how you find experts and top influencers to promote you. And you're going to send that generator email out to those experts while we're in the workshop. You're going to freak out how easy it is for you to actually be successful, because you're going to show yourself in the room that this can work. Because you're not going to be off trying to regurgitate a home study program later and trying to manage your emotions and your time and your motivation to actually follow through. I'm going to take you to the finish line, because we're going to do it in the workshop. And then I'm going to show you how to build out the marketing plan for next year on day 3. So you are going to crush it. That's my commitment to you. So if you have 1,000 people on the list, which again is fine. We have many clients who do 5,000, 7,000, 6,000, even 12,000. Okay, but you have to decide if you're going to take all the coaching or not. When they don't do these list builds, it's because they don't follow the coaching. Okay, they'll say, oh, I'll just let somebody on that doesn't have a list minimum, because they have to have a list minimum to be on your interview series. Don't worry about that now. I'm going to teach it to you in the workshop. But say you got 1,000 people. Do you think out of 1,000 people, maybe, I don't know, maybe 30 people? Do you think 30 people out of 1,000 people might want to work with you? 30? Come on, yes or no? Do you think 30 people out of 1,000 would be? Yes. Yes, Nick, Brianna, Allison, Honey. Yes, definitely. So now if you take that 30, and it doesn't matter what your product is. If you have like a skincare line, or you have a shirt, there's things called bundling and packaging that I'll teach you to get your cart value up. Right? To get your purchase price up. Yes, artists as well. I can put you on with artists in our community after you join the List Power program. If you join this program, Leah, and you let us know, I'm happy to put you on the phone with artists in our community, and they can tell you how they're making multiple 6 figures inside of sometimes a month. Okay? So it all works because people buy the art. Okay, so, but we bundle things together to be able to create more value to get the cart up. So we want to get more value up, right? Which is money. So say 30 people and you got 30 people, and just say 30 people buy a product that is, let's just say $600. Okay? All of you guys have ever spent $600 in your life? Has anybody ever spent $600 in your life? Yeah, probably. You've probably spent $600 on something. So it's not abnormal that somebody can't find $600 in their life. $600 times 30 people, that's 18 grand. So just that alone, if you just did that out of the List Power Intensive, you could monetize $18,000. So now you go, my emotions say how? I'll teach you that. Your emotions say how, mine say it's easy. Right? And so I'll show you how to do that. So now if you can get that reoccurring over, let's just say 10 months, you now have 180,000. So, and I'm going to get you to start thinking like a real wealthy entrepreneur. All along here, there are emotions that say what you can and can't do. 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left to the 20-minute bonus. Okay, so somebody's asking to upgrade to Pace. If to upgrade to Pace, just literally go on the joinlistpowernow.com and talk to the chat, and a customer service can help you. Okay, so all along here, you can imagine you've already had, just be conscious of your emotions, which are your thoughts, right? 1,000 people on the list bill. I said 30 people. All of you guys agreed 30 people out of 1,000. That's logical. So stop talking yourself out of success. Okay, stop talking yourself out of success. $600 is a price point that everybody has spent in their life somewhere. Okay, it's spent somewhere. You get what I'm saying? And so if, whether you're an artist, a musician, even network marketing, by the way, there's retreats we can create that people come to retreats and then buy your products or become reps. I'm telling you, I know the package for, I am conscious I could lay on the floor and you guys could stand around me and just tell me your things are, and I wouldn't even have to get up to come up with a package for $600. It's easy. Okay. So $600, we all agreed that everybody, 30 people on this list have $600. That's all you have to know. Okay. 18 grand is what should be all of your goals from the List Power Intensive. That should be all of your goals. I am going to make $18,000 off of this workshop. So whether you do the $2,400 package, the visionary package, which is a crazy value, or you do the bestseller for $997, or you do the $400 package, which does not have replays, but you still get all the training, plus you get our zone ticket, right? All of you guys could set this plan up and say, my return on investment will be $18,000, period. Get obsessed with it. Okay, ask me those questions, get obsessed with it. Now, if you want to go reoccurring, you can move that to 180, which means that either you do this over and over and over again, or we take this $600 and we multiply it by 10 months. Okay, now if I play with those numbers, and some of you guys are ready for this already, and I say out of 1,000, we're going to sell a product for $997, and we're going to have 30 people. Now this 18,000 goes to 29,000. If we multiply it by 10 months, this is now 293,000. You guys, making money is just math. And if you have a list and you know how to build the list, you can continue to build this list over and over and over again. Okay? I don't want you to think about becoming an author yet if you don't have a list. Because your book is a business card, and I actually need people to read it. And most people don't even finish a book. So you need to know that the beginning of the book is the most important part. In fact, you should have some sort of a mention of your product or program or something so that they actually move into hiring you for something. Because your book, nobody makes money off a book. And to be really honest, they make money by reading the book and then coming in and buying something from you. If you haven't noticed, Rachel Hollis, Bob Proctor, Chicken Soup for the Soul, my friend Mark Victor Hansen. All these people have products and programs that they sell. The books are to attain a bigger list. That's the whole purpose of the books, is to attain a bigger audience. It all starts with the audience, and that's where we've missed the boat. So somebody asked, where's the Zone event? The Zone event will be in San Diego, and we're working on that date right now. Obviously, COVID's got us, in the spot that we've got us, but we're going to have it, and we're excited about having it. Okay, so we got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left for the 20-minute bonus. Sabrina, what link is not working? So Misha's saying the 497 link is not working. Is it working?
It's working. Yep. It's working.
Okay, so Misha, if anybody has an issue,
We're on the chat. If they need anything.
okay, so they're on the chat if you need anything. So there's 3 minutes left. Let me pay for your virtual assistant. If you're on, I know some of you guys need a whole night to think about whether or not you can do this or not. This would be the time not to need that. Okay, you have 14 days to cancel. I have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So don't take the extra night to sleep on it like you normally need to make a good decision. Work through your emotions now. Let me for your virtual assistant. If you sleep on it, you're like, I'm out, cancel tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't go in with that back door. I think that's a whole nother wrong strategy, but I'm trying to work with your brain to get you to be successful. I want you to make successful decisions. Okay. So if you need support, you can go on the chat. So somebody says, I'm on the chat, but I keep getting a missing purchase error notice on the chat.
Missing purchase is declined from the bank.
Oh, okay. So Dara, go on the chat. That just means it's not, your card might be declined. Okay. So, and that happens. It happens to me all the time. It's actually funny. I play a game with myself when my card gets declined. I'm like, you always say something. It's like, oh, it's got no balance on it. You always say something. You guys know you do this, right? And so it's always this weird feeling when your card gets declined, but it happens to all of us. Okay. So just go to the chat if you guys need some support. 1 minute, 57 seconds left before we are done with the 20-minute bonus, which still means that, so the 20-minute bonus means I'm going to pay for your virtual assistant to set up your pages for you and all of that. And Deidre and everybody over there will take care of you. Okay, so I'm getting lots of private messages. I like the bonus. Awesome. Sabrina says, I'm in the chat, but nobody's there. Sabrina, they're probably getting hit with a lot of people right now. And so just stay on the chat. Just keep saying, hey guys, can I get some help? Just stay on the chat. They'll see your timestamp on there. The great thing about our technology is it timestamps everything. Okay. So Sabrina C, maybe Trisha, you can reach out to Sabrina C on VIP and help her out. And you guys who are in the Facebook group, yes, Karina, there is a 14-day cancellation period. So there's a 14-day money-back guarantee that is on this product as well. But here's what I want to tell you. Remember the numbers. Okay, so often we make decisions and we go into something already with the back door, and don't do that. That's again another leadership thing. Maybe you need to take the visionary one, which is the third one where you get vision, my leadership training. You get the first part of our leadership training, which is epic. It's a 3 full day intensive, so it's pretty epic. Okay. So, sorry, I'm getting lots of messages. Would you suggest this or a different, so I said, would you suggest this or a different program for someone just starting? Great question, Nick. If you're just starting business, I would absolutely suggest going to my list building training. 100%, because that's what you start with. Okay, so everybody thinks you start with your messaging or your big idea. No, you actually start with the audience, and I'll show you that, and I teach it right from the beginning of the workshop. There's no fluff in this workshop. It is straight. We are working. From the minute we turn on the camera and we go live, we are working through the whole day, and we have a bunch of coaches and people who are there to support you to work through all the steps. It's pretty awesome because it's like having a one-on-one coach for 3 days to work through all the decisions that you get caught in. So if you're a brand new business owner, definitely do this. Of course, our PACE program is amazing, but a lot of people don't have the full investment to do PACE. And so List Power is a great way for you to actually generate the cash to be able to go to the next level. Cool. I'm super excited about meeting you. I'm so glad my student told me about check you out. Kathy Benson, that's awesome. She's one of our HCL trainers. She's great. She also trains leadership inside of our Marketing Mastery. Yay, Shireen, you purchased. Nara, yay. Okay, guys, so I'm going to shift to VIPs now. And you guys, the offer with Ash coaching you for a cash flow program is available still as the daily bonus. That is gone tonight. And if you don't know anything about me, let me tell you something. You can trust my word is gold. I'm not going to bring it back out. I'm not going to offer Ash again. I'm not going to do any of that. He was super generous and said, honey, let me throw in. I feel like this group could really use me showing them how to create a really strong script. So whenever they speak to someone, they know exactly where to go in a conversation to lead them, to have strong leadership in a sales conversation so that they don't talk too much, so that they don't like stumble over their words, so that they know where they're going. And they can also learn how to be a great listener in the script. I want to show them how to do that. And so that bonus is called Cash Flow. Ash is training that with you. It's 2 hours with him. Knowing Ash, as you can see, he will go forever with you because he just loves people more than anybody I know. So that daily bonus is still available until midnight tonight. Everybody on Facebook, your homework is to make a decision. Your homework is to make a decision. Okay, your homework is to make a decision. And so don't sleep on it. Make a decision. Tomorrow, we have Rex with me, Rex is going to be training you around your emotions. Every single person needs this. In fact, Ash and I were just talking last night that we are actually going to go work with Rex because of the fact that he just raises your vibration to a whole nother level. Like I don't know. I can accomplish anything when that man's around me. So he's going to be training you guys. Our team is so excited to actually get access to Rex on the training with you guys tomorrow because they're like, Shanda, you've just talked him up so much, but he is so good. So he's going to be training you guys tomorrow. I'll be here with him, but he'll be training you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. So your homework is to make a decision. Rex is going to help you make better decisions tomorrow for whatever it is that's in your life that you want to take action on. So it's going to be an awesome training day. So that is your homework. I want to see you inside the Facebook group. Tell me if you jump in the Facebook group and say, I jumped in, and share that with us and tell us why you jumped in. Everybody else in VIP, let's roll.